Good morning, guys. Hello, welcome to our craft clinic with me, Laura.
Me, Alison.
And me, Danielle.
He's back.
I'm back again.
As you probably know from yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, you'll never get rid of me now.
I know.
I'm stuck here forever now.
You're to stay now, Dan.
Yeah.
Did you miss us, Dan?
I did, yeah. I missed all the nice little comments I used to get as well.
Aww.
And all the nice
You
comments
were
I got when I
missed.
back
You were missed.
as well.
People
Yeah.
noticed you were not here, which is always nice to know.
Welcome home.
Yes.
It's good to be home. It's good to be home.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah. I could do another week off though. That'd be nice.
Yeah, just at home
to recover.
Yeah.
You partied well, Dan.
I partied hard. That was it. Yeah.
I haven't seen any dancing videos yet.
No, not yet. No, they're circulating somewhere. Though.
They'll peak at some point.
I'm sure the detectives at Tonic Live chat group will find them and put them up.
So guys, as you probably know, we tend to just try and focus on any crafty questions you might have. So we ask you all to send anything, whether it could be literally anything, whether you need a bit of inspiration for a dye you haven't used in a while, or whether you're not sure how to use something, or you just want to see a product that maybe you're thinking of buying. Then those are the kind of things that we're looking for. So we've had a few questions in.
We have. Our first question. Do you want to read the question first?
So you want to read the question?
Do you want to read the question?
So we had a question off Ricky. What's the best glue to use with? Now the kits had, as some of you all know, they had a range of different cards, and one of them was, I think this is the one that you were talking about, Ricky. You said a velvety sort of texture to it. So this is the one we're thinking.
Well, there's the two I've got. Because you said you made a box with it, I kind of thought it might be our Scarlet Organza.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely gorgeous cardstock.
It is lovely. So but Ricky wasn't sure what glue to use to stick it. I think she was having a bit of trouble with the corners.
Yeah. And the other one I did wonder, was it the textured paper? The textured paper, because of the back of it, it can be a little bit difficult as well. So I thought I'd look at the both of them. So I did some little samples this morning, and what I used, I'll show you both of them. Let's chop a little bit off here. So this is our beautiful textured paper, which is, you just want to stroke it. It is absolutely amazing. So what I love it, in case you haven't guessed. Yeah. I love it.
She just sits there stroking it.
I do. So what I've stuck this with is our Deluxe Adhesive. And just by sticking those two together, in a couple of seconds, this is one I did earlier. I couldn't even see the join then. And that is what I've stuck with it. And that isn't going anywhere. I'm ripping the paper before the glue. The other one I kind of wondered was this satin card, and I tried two things with this. I tried the Deluxe Adhesive, and that's the Deluxe Adhesive, so it's pretty sturdy there, and again I'm ripping the card before the glue is coming off. But I also used our super sticky tape, and that's pretty strong as well. So either of those would do. So it's either your red line super sticky or it's your Deluxe Adhesive for them. I'm hoping I've got the right card, Ricky. If you can let us know.
I don't think she's on just yet.
Ah, right.
I suppose with mirror card in particular, either satin or gloss, there's the glue is a bit of a fiddly one.
It can be.
Yeah, if you want to, especially when you're doing precision stuff, it can make it look a bit messy sometimes. So yeah. So I suppose tape in a way.
Sometimes less is more, mind, with that type of card. If you're sticking down die cuts and things, it's sometimes less is more, and it will grab. But if you're struggling with any glues, then I would always revert to the red line tape, because that will hold anything.
Yeah.
So that was kind of our first little. That's not quite dry. I would leave that a little bit longer, but again, I can pull that. That's not going.
But then you've ripped it apart.
And now I've pulled it apart.
Yeah.
But you can stick that back together, And once that's dry, that will hold.
Yeah, especially the papers, those aren't going to go anywhere.
They're not. So hopefully I've answered your question there, Ricky.
Yeah. Hey guys, we've got lots of people joining us saying hello. Lots of people have received their craft kits over the last few days. So someone's just received them this morning. I've lost who just posted that now.
Lovely.
Yeah, so
don't forget to show us what you're making.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we like to look.
We want to see those craft kit makes, so make sure you upload those as well, ready for Friday's show.
Yeah, we'll try and, because we did last time, we did a craft kit special on a thing, so why not? Let's do this week. There's a craft kit special.
There's
so
loads of people excited about, especially this kit now. Everybody's raving over this one.
I think it's getting ready for Christmas and things.
Yeah, it's those Christmassy colours. And
it's October and you're kind of feeling a little bit more Christmassy.
Exactly.
You know, when you start Christmas in June, you're not feeling Christmassy at all.
But now it's October and the weather's turned.
There's some Christmas food in the shops and stuff. There's already
mince
stuff
pies.
there.
Christmas decorations and calendars. And the £4 tubs of sweets.
Yeah,
£4 at the minute.
That's good.
It's really good, isn't it?
That's good.
I don't buy them yet because they will be gone.
Oh, they've be eaten in my house.
Or I'll have to like give them to my mother to hide or something. And be like, don't let me have them back because they will be gone. And I'll have to buy like 3 sets of them.
That's it, because you'll have eaten the next lot as well.
I know, they say about putting weight on over Christmas. It's the 2 months before as well, isn't it? It's the build-up.
Dreadful.
The festive preparations. Right, so we had a question about an embossing demo as well, didn't we, Al? Sorry, I haven't written down who asked that question.
This is from Lou, Lou Sims.
Oh, there we are.
And she asked, could we emboss using our dies? And the answer is yes, as always. The man from Del Monte, he say yes. Now, it depends. I've done a few little bits here. It depends on what you want to emboss for starters. Do you want, I'm not sure whether you can, you should be able to pick that up. Do you want a plain shape embossed and then you put your sentiment inside or your wording inside it? That would pretty much emboss on anything. If you put in detail in, then it's a little bit harder. So I'll show you what I've done. I've done a little bit with a detailed die. I'm hoping you're picking it up.
That's good.
The only thing is with this, the more detailed, the card is prone to crack in places. So you can do this effect, but then you can also cut the die as you would normally and lay it over the top, if I had it the right way. And it looks like a quilted effect. So that's another effect you can do. So I'll show you how I've achieved it. Basically, I am using a 240 GSM. Let me just trim that bit off.
Is that the best thickness to go with then, Al?
That's the best thickness I have found if I'm doing a pattern die.
Right.
It's relatively standard-ish.
It is standard-ish. It is standard. I found I had a good emboss with it. Let me sort all my plates here a sec.
You've got more plates than you need to.
I know, I've got everything here at the moment. So what I'm going to need for this is my top plate, my embossing plate, and my embossing mat. So I can get rid of everything else. And these are just the 3 I need. So it's your green mat and plate and your top plate. So when we're embossing, the only place your die should go is either into your mat or into your cutting plate, and then you're not going to ruin any of your plates then. So there's my piece of card. Where's my die now?
Julie's just said, with the embossing folders, do you spray a little water or not? I've heard that it helps with thicker cards so you get a better emboss.
You can do. Oops. And it does give it a different emboss, slightly deeper. It's because you're making the card a little bit more malleable. So therefore you do get a better emboss with it. So you could try that with these. I probably should have brought a bit more tape, but I haven't.
We have tape somewhere. Maybe in that little shelf bit. Maybe.
It's the one thing I do forget every week.
I have seen it. I don't know where it's
So
gone.
I've got my card, I've got my die, and I'm just going to put the top plate on top. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
So I did see some floating around.
And you can hear that cracking. That's perfectly normal. It is just the die going into the card. So it has, as I said, it has gone through in a couple of little places. Let me just pop this off. But everything is still in place. So what I would do with that, because obviously then you don't want to show that you've got a few broken areas. Get the die the right way, yeah. And then just pop on top of that then, and you've got that quilted effect. Nice. So that's one little technique. Another one you could do is, depends on your cardstock, you'd have to play with this one. You can use a different combination of plates. So again, stick our die down. I've got to think what I've got now. And again, this is going to be a play at home. So I have my green mat, I have my orange mat. It's all about thicknesses of your plate combination. And I've got my raspberry mat. So I've kind of made my combination a little bit thinner.
It's a mad sandwich, that is.
It is a bit of a mad sandwich.
I've never seen such sandwiches before.
It's not just a ham and salad one.
No.
So as you can hear, there's no cracking with this one. So you're going to get a thinner layer. But you've got the full emboss there. And it's gone through a little bit less. It's going to depend on the pressure on your machine, the thickness of your plates, sometimes whether your card is dry. So it is going to be a little bit of trial and error with your own plates, but it can certainly be done.
I suppose in a way you could, if you don't want to do new sheets and stuff, I imagine everyone's got a bit of scrap lying around.
Exactly.
So you could just try a bit.
Try a bit of scrap with what you've got.
Yeah.
Trial and error a bit.
Exactly.
I think with embossing, because it's always confused me a little bit with like which plates to use. So I'm glad that we're showing different combinations.
A normal embossing would be your green mat, your green plate, and your top plate. So that would be your normal. So for doing a bigger die and a plainer die, I would use that same combination. Green mat, green plate, top plate.
Sabine says, what about a new sandwich for the next class battle?
Oh, am I confusing matters here?
Yeah.
So
it can be quite a funny
go.
challenge though, you know, like.
So there's our plain shape, just popped in. But try it on different cards. I mean, sometimes the thinner the card, you don't get such a good emboss. You may get it better on a thicker card. But again, it depends on how thick you're putting it through your machine. Are you creating too much thickness and it may cut through? So I found a 240 GSM with those combinations has been fine. So hopefully, give it a go, Lou.
Yeah, get crafted on it.
I'm sure we're going to see some of these on your next lot of cards.
Yeah.
So we also were going to do today an easel card demo.
We were. Joan's been a little bit stuck with her easel dies. So I thought I would...
Those easel, yeah.
Our easel creators.
Yeah. They're cool, I like them.
Yeah.
They're lovely.
Yeah.
They're lovely. They make a stunning card every single time. So what I've done, these are our easel creator dies. Let's get the whole lot out. So what I've done, I've used the base plate to create my base. So we've got that one. You could cut one of these dies and use this on the other side. Depends on what you want. In fact, have I got enough card here that I can cut? Oh, I know it's a bit of a random colour. We're on the red mirror card, but
leftovers from yesterday's
exactly.
Red and black. You can't go wrong with a bit of red and black.
No.
Exactly. We all like a bit of red and black. I was feeling a bit Halloween-y, see, with the orange.
Yeah, orange, green.
Has anyone got their pumpkins yet, or is it a bit too early? I've noticed like a lot of shops are selling them.
Oh, really?
They last for ages, though, pumpkins, don't they?
We were doing giant ones in the shop by me.
Ooh.
I was very tempted down there. I thought it might die.
I don't know whether they last once you've cut the insides out of them, mind. I think they kind of go a bit mush, don't they? So if I was going to use the base plate to create my front of the easel card, I would cut out the top bit. There we are.
Sharon's just said, what size is the card for the easel? So it's...
This would be your 6x6 card envelope. So I've cut the same. I haven't worried about the bottom because I'm not going to use it. So I'm just going to trim off that end bit.
It is a lovely diamond. And
It's gorgeous.
Really pretty. I can see why it's so popular.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people asking about the easels, isn't they?
So the only thing you do is, I think once you've done it once, it is very, very easy. Right, let's get everything out the way first. So that's all we've got, and I've just created this now from one die set. So all you're going to do, you're going to fold in the centre fold, then you're going to fold again on the top fold, and that basically is what creates your easel. Then if you're going to make it the same shape, the way I find it easier to do is line up your top with the base. Put your tape, let me do it, it's easier to do it. I was going to show you the other die as well, that's why I'm trying to be a little bit
There's a few
frugal.
people just saying that they're still waiting on their easels. The stock was a little bit delayed with them, but they are going to be sent out this week, so don't panic if you haven't had yours. It is just literally just a bit of a delay with the stock, so they'll be there in a few days.
Excellent. So the only bit you need to glue is on that little tab. So lay it all down flat, line up your front with your back. Well, I think I haven't pressed it well enough. There we go. Give that a couple of seconds, and there's your easel. You can turn this die upside down, so if we take it off, we can turn it that way and just line it up. I would just use the bottom edge of my card as a guide, and then you've got it that way. So that's two ways you can make your easel. And the third way is if you were lucky enough to get your Victorian frame set with it.
I was going to say, you've only used the one set.
I just used the one set.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you only wanted to buy the one set, you think, you know, it's a little bit more than my budget can withstand, you can certainly make beautiful cards with that. So I'm going to hoof that off a minute. And I have used, let's see which one I use now.
Yeah,
It's that one. It's that one there. It's the one after the scallop. So there's a beautiful little scallop there, and it's the one after that. I've cut out my die, and again, this shape here mirrors the shape, let me move that out the way, mirrors the shape of the base. So again, if you line up the base with your top, a little bit of glue again.
We're doing a Halloween-y one.
It looks like, doesn't it? We're going from Halloween to Christmas and everything else today. And that there then is using the two sets of dies. What I would do then, you obviously need something at the base of these to hold them up. So there's nothing more perfect than the bow.
See this bow as well, you can use for
Is
all
the little
sorts
bow.
of stuff, can't you?
It's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And it's a one-step bow.
You're going to give us a little demo of the
I
bow,
was just
Al, 'cause
thinking
I need to see the bow.
I was just thinking that myself. I may as well cut it rather than just tell you about it.
Let's do a pretty little...
People are screaming for the bow.
Halloween.
Show us the bow!
Oh,
Show us
yeah.
the bow! I do love it though.
Don't panic, guys. Your dies are on the way. See everyone saying, where are they?
They'll be with you and you will love them when they arrive.
It'll be well worth the wait, guys. Believe me. Won't be long then.
There we are. Oh, well that wasn't very good, was it? It slipped.
Oh, they are.
Oh dear. Well, I can still show you anyway.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't got a corner to our bow.
A part bow.
Yes.
But I hate a bit of die slippage, haven't you?
Exactly. So what I do is I like to curl the top bit first.
My mic isn't working.
Oh.
Should be, hopefully.
Are you disconnected?
Oh, it's not plugged in?
Oh. I think it must be Alison and the Destroyer again. It's up for it.
I have not touched, I promise.
When I sat down, I think it's just popped out.
Oh, maybe when you went to go into the shelf.
Oh, it
there
could
we
be.
are.
You're back, Laura. Sorry,
Yay.
guys.
Thanks, Kat. Karen was like, Laura, your mic's not working.
So I've just curled the two sides of the bow. Little bit of glue in the back. And I'm just lining up. You can see the both sides of the bow, and that's what I'm using as a judgment line. Sounds like I'm the judge there, doesn't it? We're all in court. Just hold it together for a couple of seconds and then the other side. So it is really easy. A couple of seconds again, and then the centre then just wraps around, so it's a one. You can either do it like that, so you've got a nice little, but this, you're looking at the bottom of this die then. If you're cutting the other little bits and putting them on, then that's not going to matter. But if you've got a piece of card that may be white on the back, then you really don't want to see a white part of the bow, or it may be a patterned piece of card. So what I would do then, wrap it around, but then bend it back. And that way then, you're seeing the right side with all of it.
I love the bows.
And then it's a little bit of glue under there.
So pretty.
And it is only a tiny bit of glue and a little bit there. And then we can hold it all together.
And that's it.
And that is it. That's as easy as it is.
So what would you do with these little bits then? Just decoration, is it?
They are decoration. You can cut them in a contrasting colour, or you could cut the bow in a plain colour, contrast with a patterned paper.
I was going to say, I've seen pattern papers quite a bit.
Pattern papers look fab with them. They look lovely. So there we go. There's our little bow minus the tail.
Gorgeous.
And that's how easy it is. So that would be what I would use on the base there.
So that's an easy card to make.
It's easy. You know, if you're selling your cards.
Complicated,
yeah,
but it is simple. And it'll look like you've spent ages on that, won't it?
Oh, it certainly will. And then it's just whatever you're going to decorate it with.
Lush.
Don't forget you've got your dies here that you can cut into your panels to make them look a little bit more decorative.
Lovely.
You've got your layers, because all these are plain dies that you can cut, and the variety on the back is unbelievable. You can use the bigger dies. They will still fit the base, but they will overhang a little bit on the sides. And you can also turn this, oh hang on, can I get it off now? Do lots of
do it
hoofing
side on, is it? Like, oh, that looks a bit more like a pumpkin then, doesn't it?
You can turn it the other way.
Oh, okay.
Like that. It doesn't match, but it doesn't matter either. It fits perfectly. So there's a few ideas to do your easel cards. Hopefully that will help you, Joan.
Yeah. So Kim, I've just noticed you're saying you're having a problem with your cathedral die. So the insert has stopped cutting out. If you can send me an inbox message, and then I'll get it sorted for you after the show, Kim's. No problem at all. We'll get it fixed.
Laura will be on the case today.
That is correct. So, any more questions, guys? We've done a couple of demos for you. I think we've Well, I reckon that people are going to be bow creating this afternoon.
Oh, well, I
We've got
think
a
so.
bow dye after that.
I think they will, and they'll be embossing.
People are loving the bows, and they're saying they want more dyes with different bows on.
There we are.
We love bows as well. But I also think this is a lovely technique that I'm hoping we'll see a lot more of.
You could put a little clip on it.
Couldn't I?
Oh,
wouldn't I look pretty?
Stick them in your hair.
But don't forget, you can cut, I'm trying to think of the name of it. We used to call it oilcloth. You know the tablecloth stuff you can buy? There's, it's like plastic coated on one side, fabric on the other. Our dyes will cut that. This is a plain edge dye.
What,
it
like
will
for
cut those.
Like dining room tables?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, didn't know that.
It'll cut those for you.
There you are.
So you could make them out of waterproof fabric as well.
Oh. The ideas are endless.
Flowing through. Felt.
As long as you, I can never think of this word. You put the, it's not a fabric protector. It's like a sealant thing you iron onto the back of your cotton fabric. And then you can cut fabric with them because it's a plain edge dye. So these could be made out of fabric then. A little bit, that's all you need is a stitch through the middle and that's held together.
I'll tell you what would be a good idea is if you're going to start, really pushing it out, is it for Christmas, napkin rings.
Oh,
Yes.
And somehow forming these onto the napkin rings.
That's all you do is a strip of card.
For your Christmas table. You could have like tartan.
You could. Tartan bow on it. Strip of card, about so wide, about an inch wide, 2.5 centimetres. Make it into a circle and then just stick that on front.
Oh.
Or failing that.
When you think how much that stuff costs, if you want the really fancy ones,
Rachel on YouTube says, do these dyes have an embossing element to them? I'm assuming the easel.
The easel card.
Yeah.
Yes, there's very small little areas that are embossed on them.
Cool. There we go.
There's your answer.
Yes.
If I cut it, I can show you.
Not a satisfied customer of the
Seeing as we're embossing today and we're doing a bit of embossing. If you look at your dyes and you think, do they emboss or don't they? Have a look at the pattern. If there's not a built-up metal edge around a hole, then that hole will emboss. If it's just a hole with no metal, that will emboss. So that could be any of your dyes. And most of our dyes have got a small element of emboss on them. There's very few that haven't, that are just plain cut-in dyes. And I also think sometimes we don't get the benefit out of our dyes because we don't always... Ooh, that's a bit crackly.
Oh, I like that sound, mind.
That's a lot of crack.
I should have cut that first, thinking of it.
Did you put bubble wrap in there instead?
It sounds like, doesn't it? That's one of those pop-in things,
I like that.
Right, I can cut it as well now because I've done it the wrong way round, but it doesn't matter. And we'll cut next.
Yeah, someone said about making Christmas tree decorations as well with the bows and that. Yeah, it is like literally endless what you can do with these
Or
dyes.
if you've got plain baubles.
Yeah.
Put the bow on the top.
Thing is, you don't have to buy really expensive decorations. You could buy basic cheapy ones and just really dress them up yourselves. I mean, if you've got all this kind of stuff.
Is they ready?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
It's all right, Al.
Sorry, lovely.
It's a little card shower for me on a Tuesday morning.
It's because I love you. Let me just give these a little bit of a poke and then I can show you then. Right, the embossed detail is on the leaves. If you look at the leaves on the bottom there, are you able to pick that up?
I think so. Oh, yeah. So on the actual,
on the
leaf
leaves,
flower type thing.
On these here.
Yeah.
That's your embossed detail.
Nice.
So again, that's another detail.
Can I see?
You certainly can.
Oh, yes, it is, guys.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It gives another dimension as well.
It does.
What you could do again, thinking of this, you could put, because we've been talking about embossing rather than cutting, you could use the plain dye one of the smaller plain dies. We could put that, not so much the next one down, but maybe the one after that. We could emboss that into the centre as well. And then you could put another sentiment in there. So we could just have the pattern like we did with these. So that's, there's another idea for you. I'm throwing ideas.
I know, she's like on a roll.
Keep some of them back. Keep some of them back.
Keep on for the next
Well,
one.
I'm hoping you were taking notes for your craft battles.
Of course,
I know.
Sandwiches. I got that bit.
Yeah, he's got one up on OI now because he's got the sandwich know-how.
Exactly.
Be the Joey Tribbiani of the tangerine sandwich world.
Good,
That's
good
right.
Oh, there we are then,
So I think that's it. We haven't got any more questions for today.
Yeah, if you've got anything else, quickly check it in. Ricky says kaleidoscope boxes for the bows as well.
Yes,
See,
most definitely. Most
How
definitely.
much you can do with this dye, it's amazing.
You know, if you think I haven't got the colour in a ribbon, then cut a strip of card as wide as the base, or maybe, as wide as the ribbon on the base. Put that around your box and then put your bow on it, and it looks like you've made your ribbon then. And it save you a fortune because you'd probably throw that scrap of ribbon in the bin, that scrap of card in the bin.
Yeah, use all your little bits for all these, isn't it? See?
Yep.
No cardstock will go to waste.
No cardstock left behind.
That's right. They need to fulfill their...
We'll be emptying our scrap
creative
boxes.
potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
There we go then, guys. So
on that weird little note, there we go.
On that weird note. I'm going to go shake all the confetti out my hair.
Sorry, Laura.
That's all right. Oh, there's probably something else in there I'll find. Who knows what could be in there?
Let us know in the comments, what do you think Laura keeps in her hair?
Oh, dear me. I don't think we want to go there.
Oh, thanks for joining us, guys. So don't forget, ready for next week, give us your questions. We need some tutorials off you. If you want a tutorial, get it into us. We will do it live for you, and you can, do it as you watch.
Yep.
You
Just
can.
get them into us. We need to know.
And then show us what you've made too.
Yes, that's what we want. So get all your questions in, all your tutorials, send them in to either me or Ali, and we'll get them on the show for you. But thanks for joining us. And anything else going on today, Dan?
Nope. Not that I know of anyway.
Today.
There was I put up a sneak peek yesterday on Instagram for what we're having towards the end of this week. And I've also done more of a sneak peek. It's actually less information for what it is for the end of this week on our Facebook page as well.
Okay.
There we are. So go and check it out yourself. Go and check it out yourself because that made no sense. So go down below this video.
Less information about something that's going on this week.
Yeah. So for less information about what I just said.
Sense.
Or for less information about what I just said, go down below. And so yeah, I put it up on the Facebook page, and we have a launch coming up towards the end of this week.
We do.
For something
We've
very
got
exciting
an
and fun.
launch.
But no more information. Maybe more
I'm
information
excited
tomorrow
about this one.
in our next live on Wednesday.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. Maybe we'll do some. Maybe we'll use the products then.
Maybe
Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm just going to say that. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you like cute?
Cute.
Do you like cute?
Do you like cute? That's all I'm going to say.
There we are. That's enough of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Ooh, wine. Come on. Right. There we are. So
thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
See you.